Hi, everyone. This is a brief overview of Chapter 9. And Chapter 9 is the chapter on law and social control. And I hope you find this chapter really interesting because I do. I'm fascinated by how much society controls us. Even when, if you asked most people, do you make your own decisions? Do you run your own life, etc.? Most people would say, well, of course I do. I make my own decisions. No one controls me. Yeah. But if you really stop and think about it, most of our behavior is regulated by social control. Think about how we brush our teeth and we bathe and we um, use the bathroom, etc. Why do we do those things? Well, we do those things, sociologists argue, because we've been taught to do them. We've been taught that these are the right things to do, that we're to do these things on a particular schedule, every day in the case of personal hygiene. And it doesn't occur to us to ever challenge that. And now I'm not suggesting that I think people should, stop bathing regularly and brushing their teeth, etc. But that's just a simple example of how much we have been trained by other people to do the things they want us to do. And so if you think about something like stealing, would more people steal if it wasn't against the law, if it was just something that was against our mores as it once used to be? Well, apparently, there was a point in time where so many people were stealing that society said, you know what, we better make a law against this. We better publish it and make sure that everybody knows about it. Or think about something like cheating on one's taxes. Would more people do it if it wasn't against the law? I think probably yes, because if there's no punishment attached to it, if it's just against our mores, if there's just going to be social disapproval, then probably more people would cheat because the thinking would be, well, I probably won't get caught. And even if I do get caught, there's not going to be any real punishment other than people will know I'm a tax, I cheat on my taxes. And so I'd argue that for a lot of us, following the law is something that we do because we've been taught that it's the right thing to do. And over time, we've internalized the belief that these things are the right thing to do. But I also want to challenge you to consider that sometimes laws are ones that we follow that maybe we shouldn't. For example, making people sit at separate lunch counters or ride in different parts of the bus or not be able to live in certain parts of a town. People at one time thought those were great laws. And over time, people began to say, hey, you know what, these aren't such great laws. And of course, those things change. So just consider how much of society is controlled by laws. And of course, most of us follow those simply because we don't want any kind of punishment. So in this chapter, there's a discussion about the 5 different philosophies of punishment. And I ask you to write a brief paper arguing which one of those 5 would be an appropriate punishment for the person outlined in the hypothetical, and why it might be the best one compared to another one of your choosing. You'll also learn about the different styles of social control, and I hope that you find that discussion interesting. And I've got a few videos as well for you to check out. So I hope that you enjoy this chapter, and I will see you next week.